right now I'm working in the cloud platform. So in today's session, we will get to know a little bit about why we will be using Azure in the future technologies and why is Azure beneficial for us, is it applicable. We will go through a demo of backup using Mars agent, and we will just get an overview of security center. So let's start. So Softline has active 4,500 plus team member clan. It has 1,500 plus account managers, 1,000 plus sales representative. We have been doing 1.65 billion dollars in sales volume. We have presence in 50 plus countries, 95 cities. It has been 27 years in the market. We are globally located, Russia, USA, India, and many more, as you can see on the map. So as I told you, we already have operations in 50 plus countries and 95 cities. You can see on the map. There are many more which are in pipeline, which are going to come. You can see the list here. We have a highest partnership status. We are into the Microsoft partner of hosting, application development, application lifecycle management, cloud platform, cloud productivity, collaboration, communications, and many more with these partners you see on the screen.
Hannah, the slides are not advancing. We are still on the first slide. Can you please check?
It's working from my end. Let me share again. Let me see if you can see it.
Yes, we can see. Yes, we can see the map right now.
All right. So here I was telling you that the facts and figures, that the number of team members. All right. So as I told you, 27 years have been in the market, and these are the countries and cities we are currently operational in. And there are many more that will be joining the list. So our Microsoft partner, to Microsoft partner, we provide the hosting, application development. We are the partner for cloud platform, cloud productivity, data analytics, data platform, data centers, and many more in the list, as you can see. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we do.
Now we can see it.
All right, great. So our we have a we just are not limited to one partners. We have global accounts. We have large corporate clients. We are into small and medium businesses as well in the startup culture. We are into government and public sector. We are into education and healthcare, oil and gas industry as well. And our esteemed client list is large, as you can see on the screens. So Microsoft is a strategic partner of Softline. We have been #1 Microsoft partner in Russia and for financial year 2016, and we have many accolades to our name in other countries as well, like Cambodia, partner of the year 2018, Microsoft partner of the year 2017, Cambodia, Kazakhstan, then in Georgia, Microsoft partner of the year, and Microsoft LSP partner LATAM 2015, Venezuela. So let's proceed. So there are many deployment models that are followed right now. There's a private model, there's public model, and there's hybrid. Private is where you have a single tenant architecture and everything is under one architecture. Like there is direct control of underlying cloud infrastructure. That's the vendors that are active in that area right now do include Microsoft as well, but Microsoft is right now in public and it supports hybrid clouds as well. So in public, what you have is multi-tenant kind of architecture. You can have multiple vendors, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, IBM, and hybrid is a combination of both. You can have a private on-premise kind of environment and a public environment as well. So why choose Azure? So there is innovation. There is risk mitigation, cost optimization. Suppose you want to bring your cloud infrastructure environment to using data and AI. It's very easy that way. But in on-premise, it can take a couple of months or sometimes year to set up that kind of environment. There is less end of season cycles, like some technologies you face end of season, end of service kind of problems, but that's not there with the cloud. It's easy to build high availability and disaster recovery with Azure as your cloud partner or provider. Right now, you can see the available regions. That's where we are available in as a data center. Microsoft is, and the dotted ones are the highlighted regions. These will be like announced soon. They will be the data centers soon. So Microsoft Azure is an open cloud. You can bring the open cloud services, and you can use that with Microsoft Azure. Like you can use Ubuntu, and you can use Docker, and you can use your open source platforms with Microsoft Azure. So why should you migrate and modernize with Azure? Sometimes what happens, your data center contract expires, there is some software and hardware refresh needed, there is urgent capacity need that the infrastructure has to be expanded. In these kind of scenarios, most of the organizations now tend to move to cloud. So when you say cloud, then why should you migrate to Azure? Because there is unmatched security, there's unparalleled innovation. What we mean by that is right now we have something called as Azure Farms, where we are collecting data from farms and bringing them to the farmers. Now, this was unheard of a few years back. So what we are doing with Azure is we have built Azure FarmBeats. We're using technology where we collect data from different sensors, like sensors will collect data from soil, from weather conditions will be checked, drone imagery will be captured from the drones, and all this data will be fed to MI and AI cycles in the form of algorithms, and you will get a graphical representation of that. So that's unparalleled innovation that was unheard of years back. Then there's unbeatable offers, and there is built-in hybrid. You can use PaaS services, you can use IaaS services, you can use SaaS services with cloud. Now, talking about data backup, it's very easy to back up your existing infrastructure. So that's why we select the data backup with Azure. And I will today help you to see one of the demos, how we'll do that. Disaster recovery is very easy to be created and managed. Suppose you want to test one disaster recovery site. Okay, I have built the disaster recovery site. Will it even work? So for that reason, the disaster recovery it takes a couple of minutes to set up disaster recovery site just for testing. And you can test that to see the impact. Security is at different levels. It's not just at the network levels now. It's not just with the firewalls, but we provide you additional security to Sentinel. You can see Security Center that provides you immediate protection, and there are many other features that you can use in the security. You have Web Application Firewall that provides you your applications additional security instead of firewall. It can be placed behind the firewall, and you will get additional security with that for the application. So these are the added features in security in Azure. So how the backup works? Can I take a server grade backup? Definitely you can take. And can you go as small as files? Yes, you can. And it is cost effective, and these are end-to-end encrypted. So all you have to do is take your on-premise data, move to Azure, just using one service from Azure. Let's suppose you're taking the Windows Server system backup. So all you need to do is just use an agent or service from Azure, and it will be done. So security in cloud. Security in cloud, as I told you, is at many levels. If we see on the left-hand side, we can see there's protection through network security groups, which are not only at network level, but they are protecting at subnet level as well. You can get security from DDoS kind of attacks. We have something as Azure DDoS protection, where if there are many hits on your websites, this can be protected. If there's DDoS kind of attack, this can be protected. It is Azure firewall acts as a normal firewall. There is application gateway. In the diagram above, the site-to-site VPN connection is protected using the VPN gateway. So we have many security and management partner solutions. We have that for security, backup monitoring. Here, the good thing is that suppose you have Barracuda and Fortnite uh, licenses and you want to use them in Azure. Now what? You don't want to buy two licenses. So Azure helps you to bring those licenses to Azure. They will put those licenses in hold, help you get new licenses with Azure with your current running licenses. So that is a good thing. So you can see, you can do that with VM. You can do this with Citrix Cloud, Checkpoint, NetApp, F5. You can bring all those licenses and you can help with the help of Azure, you can partner with Azure and bring on your existing licenses on board. If we talk about Azure Security Center, you can see the graph here. It gives you a graphical representation of the threats. It gives you a graphical representation of the network topology and wherever the hits are, the threats are. You can get just-in-time access where you allow a particular IP for a particular time. So that's how the security center works. Now, what are the Azure hybrid benefits? It helps in cost saving, and there's more flexibility to it, and there is more savings in respect to Azure, as I told you, with the licenses and SA agreements and whatnot. So there's definitely a lot of saving when you move to Azure. So as I told you, you can bring your SA agreements, and then you can just do that for SQL Server as well, and then you only have to pay for the base rate, which means you only have to pay for the service, not for the underlying hardware. We have calculated the cost for Azure VM, Windows Server, and SQL Server. And we have checked that if you use it for the same amount of time and services, you get more benefits and less cost with Azure and in comparison to AWS, 5 times, in fact. Migration planning and execution. So how is the migration planning done? We follow a simple model. We assess the infrastructure and we simply do the test migration. We migrate it, then we help to optimize and we secure and manage the environment. So Softline digital transformation journey includes that as well. We follow the similar model and we have incorporated a few of our own steps. We assess the environment, then we make a plan how to work on this, and we modernize and migrate and deploy. These are the steps we follow with your infrastructure and your services. We manage and optimize, and then we govern if the customer likes, and if he wants us to govern the infrastructure, we do that. The cloud adoption framework is the same. Here we innovate as well. We include the best practices. We do the POC migrations as well. So the basic plan remains the same almost. You strategize, plan, adopt, you manage, and then you govern. So the cloud assessment strategy brings in tool and automation. Suppose for a particular customer, we go through the reports, we bring in the BI tools, we generate the reports, then we use our human intelligence, by which that I mean our resources here, our team. They analyze and provide you with something conclusional, which you can then analyze and synthesize, which you can present in a format for like a readable format to layman. We at Softline follow the data factory model. We prepare schedule, we refactor, we test it, and then we deploy it. Same again, we get some we can get some new like a project or something. We do the assessment and planning, prepare and schedule, rehost, test, and deploy. Application modernization and migration, that's covered by Softline in the following ways. We do the application development. You can build, scale your application, cloud-based applications, and we do the cloud service integration. We do the developer operations, which includes DevOps, and we do the data collection as well, which is gathering the data from several resources. So Softline remote desktop services is also there. Right now, we know we are in the middle, almost here in India. It's not that much impact right now, but we are almost reaching the completion of a pandemic. So what happened is that we delivered many online environments, virtual desktops, Windows virtual desktops, where we prepare the infrastructure just for the customer so they can work from the comfort of their homes. That's there. So Softline has 24/7 operations. Our response SLA is very minimum. That is 7 minutes. We have 24/7 technical support. We help with proactive monitoring. We manage the security network. We manage databases. We manage your cost as well. And there is configuration management that also we support. So there are different packages and models that if someone wants to have a look at, there are different services and different SLAs under those that we offer. At last, I would like to tell you that we also follow the compliance of the countries we are working with, the projects. If there's a government project, there are certain guidelines. We do make sure that we follow all the guidelines and the compliances in respect to the project and country. As we are, as I told you, we are located globally. So we understand there are different demands, different needs for the country. Security, like in terms of data center, has to be located inside the country. We follow that. So why choose us? Because we are reliable, have been in the market for 25 years. There's one point of contact for all your IT tasks. So we have been speaking different languages. We are in different countries. We have qualification and certified staff. Softline is leading the market right now for small and medium businesses. Thank you. I would like to take up any questions so far if you have any.
Yes, thank you so much, Hannah, for the comprehensive presentation on Microsoft Azure. So if anyone would like to have a question, you can just unmute yourself. ممكن نعمل unmute للمايك ونسأل أي أسئلة حاليا. أو لو حد حابب برضه ممكن نكتب السؤال في الشات بوكس ونجاوب على السؤال من خلال الأوديو. Okay, so at this stage, Hannah, I think we don't have questions, or maybe during the demo.
All
So
right.
we still have a demo to do. So stick with us,
Right.
guys. We will share with you a demo on how to use Azure Backup.
Well, let's.
Hello.
Yes.
في الحقيقة أنا عندي سؤال كده مهم جدا.
اتفضل.
فكنت عايز يعني نعرف إجابته. يعني السؤال بيقول إن إحنا كأي تي لما بنيجي نعرض الكلاود سوليوشنز للأونرز والشركات بيخاطر تخوفهم من تسرب الداتا، وإن البروفايدر اللي بيقدم لنا السيرفيس نفسه ممكن يستغل الداتا دي ويقدر ان هو يبيعها او يعرضها لاي شخص تاني. يعني ده اكتر المخاوف اللي بتقابلنا، واكتر الحاجات اللي يعني بتخلينا نرجع لموضوع الكلاود. فلو في اجابه يعني مقطعيه نقدر نستفاد منها يعني، ويا ريت يعني.
طيب تمام. طيب هو في البداية طبعا يعني النقطة اللي حضرتك اتكلمت عليها دي طبعا حاجة مهمة، فكرة الداتا سيكيورتي والداتا برايفسي. دي حاجة من الحاجات طبعا المهمة لأي اورجانيزيشن قبل ما تطلع الكلاود. بس احنا هنا بنتكلم عن البروفايدر اللي هو مايكروسوفت. يعني انت لما بتختار البروفايدر اللي انت هتهوست معاه، في معايير بتبدأ تبص عليها، ومن اهم المعايير فكرة البرايفسي. الداتا بتاعتي هتكون فين؟ طب الداتا بروتكتد ازاي؟ الداتا برايفت ازاي؟ طبعا انت لما بنشتغل على الليفل بتاع مايكروسوفت، احنا شركة مايكروسوفت عندها الهايست ليفل من السكيورتي والبرايفسي والكومبلاينس. ودي حاجة تقدر أي حد في العالم بيفكر إن هو يستخدم مايكروسوفت كلاود من خلال بارتنر زي سوفت لاين، يقدر يدخل يشوف السكيورتي سيرتيفيكيشنز والسكيورتي ميجرز اللي معمولة على مستوى ايجر، على مستوى الداتا سنترز فيزيكالي. يعني الداتا سنتر نفسه مين اللي يقدر يدخل عليه، السكيورتي اللي موجودة على الفيزيكال داتا سنتر، والسكيورتي اللي موجودة على مستوى الداتا وعلى مستوى الفيرتشوال ماشينز او اي هاردوير بيهوست الداتا بتاعتك. ففي حاجه اسمها مايكروسوفت سكيورتي سنتر، وفي برضه حاجه اسمها مايكروسوفت سكيورتي تراست، بتوضح جميع المعايير وجميع السيرتيفيكيشنز اللي مايكروسوفت بتتبعها، بحيث انها تقول لك انت الداتا بتاعتك السكيورتي ليفل بتاعها شكله عامل ازاي. حاجه زي دي بنقدر ناخد الانفورميشن دي ونقدر نشير مع المانجمنت لو هم عندهم concern around السكيورتي. بالاضافه طبعا في security measures معموله applied by مايكروسوفت نفسها، وكمان as a customer انت برضو في الانفايرمنت بتاعتك اللي انت بتعملها على الكلاود تقدر تتبع security add security layers كمان. يعني انت already covered بالسكيورتي بتاعت مايكروسوفت على مستوى الداتا سنتر اللي هي الفيزيكال، وعلى مستوى الداتا بتاعتك، وكمان على مستوى ان انت تقدر تعمل your own security، بحيث ان انت بتعلي كمان من السكيورتي اللي عندك. فده كده بشكل بسيط يعني اجابة السؤال. اتمنى انها تكون واضحة لحضرتك، وبرضه اقدر اشير معاك معلومات اكتر عن السكيورتي بحيث ان انت تعرف ازاي الداتا بتاعتك سكيور في الكلاود. تمام. انا برضو يعني من الحاجات اللي احنا بنقدمها ان احنا بنعمل فري اسسمنت. احنا ممكن نعمل ديسكشنز، يعني انا حابب ان احنا ناخد ديسكشنز معاكم بعد الويبينار، نشوف كده بنعمل اسسمنت للانفايرمنت، ايه الحاجات اللي احنا ممكن نبدا بيها في الكلاود، وات از ريدي فور كلاود. تمام. الاسسمنت دي بشكل بسيط بنبدا نسمع من الكاستمر الانفايرمنت اللي عندك، التشالنجز اللي موجوده. طبعا الفتره اللي فاتت موضوع البانديميك وكوفيد 19 في حاجات كتيره مش بنروح الاوفيس، في مثلا حاجات لها علاقه باكسس لديتا، اكسس لريسورسز، اكسس لسيرفرز. فشركات كتير جدا الكلاود بقى بالنسبه لها اوبشن مهم جدا انها تبدا تحط ريسورسز على الكلاود عشان تسهل الاكسسبيليتي، عشان توفر كوست مثلا لو في دلوقتي حاليا بادجت كونسترينتس. ففي اوبشنز كتير جدا احنا بنقدر نوفر كونسلتيشن عليها من خلال ان احنا بنعمل اسسمنت. الاسسمنت دي بنبدا نتكلم شويه عن الابلكيشنز، بنبدا نتكلم شويه عن الانفراستراكشر، بنبدا نتكلم شويه عن النتورك، ومن خلال الدسكشن دي بنقدر نقدم كونسلتيشن ايه الحاجات افضل تراك تقدر تشتغل فيه في الكلاود، تقدر تبدا ازاي. من خلال الدسكشنز دي برضو بنديك اوبشنز مختلفه، بنبدا نقول لك الكوست بتاعت موفينج تو كلاود شكلها ايه، المايجريشن بروسيس هتبقى عامله ازاي، السكيورتي. فدي حاجه طبعا مهمه لينا كلنا ان احنا نكون فاهمينها، ودي احنا بنقدمها از فري اسسمنت وفري كونسلتيشن من ناحيتنا، باستخدام برضو الريسورسز اللي موجوده في سوفت لاين جلوبالي. عندنا ايدج ان احنا جلوبال اكسبرت في ايجر، عندنا جلوبال ديليفري سنتر في اكتر من ريجن في العالم. فدي حاجه بتدينا ايدج ان احنا ندي البيست كونسلتيشن. اتمنى يكون باشمهندس محمد الاجابه دي واضحه لسؤال حضرتك.
تمام، واضحة وبصراحة وكافية جدا وشكل حضرتك جدا. ويا ريت يعني لو هتشير الدوكيومنتيشن الخاصة بالسكيورتي ليفل والبرايفسي
تمام.
يعني يكون ممنون جدا.
تمام. انا برضو هخلي باشمهندسة هنا تجاوب على السؤال ده من ناحيتها برضو. So هنا I was just answering a question regarding Muhammad was saying that the main concern they have in their management when they are talking about moving to the cloud is security and privacy of their own data on the cloud. So I talked about Microsoft Security Center and also Microsoft Security Trust website where they can go and see the level of security that's around their data. So if you can also
All
answer
right.
that question from your end, that would be great as well.
All right, I would not just like to answer the question, but complete it with the demo as well. So you see, as I told you, there is a different level of security that Microsoft provides. It provides you with network security groups, at the network level, which helps you with filtering the data. At the storage level, the data is encrypted. If you keep any storage, you have IAM. Suppose you create any resource at individual level, you can restrict the access, who can access the resource or not. So there are different levels at which Microsoft is providing and making sure that the environment is secure. Let's look at the security center, what you get here. So if you look at the recommendations section, you can see the score of your security. Microsoft will determine that how good your security is. So it's just 40% for this client. It will list down the unhealthy resource. These are not unhealthy in terms of like there's a problem with it, but it's in terms of the security. So it will tell you what's missing in terms of MFA. So it's saying that please enable multi-factor authentication, and it will give you the resource list. Even if one of the resources doesn't have MFA, it will give you this kind of recommendation. See, and it also gives you quick fix where you can just apply and enable these quick fixes. You can right now click on this button and enable it on 106 machine, and this fix will be applied. So this kind of security is available in Security Center, and it's same for your compute resources. You can see for VMs and servers. For scale set, your cloud services will take time to load, and same as with application services, it will take time to load. Now talking about networking, it will also protect your networking data and check your networking health. You see, it's saying that Azure DDoS protection should be enabled at the network. It has analyzed that these are the resources where it should be enabled. IP forwarding on your virtual machine should be disabled. Right now, it has been removed. So this person has already done it, the IT administrator. So now it's none. So this is the kind of security you can have with Azure. At VM level, if you do not want to provide the access, you can disable that at IP level. So that there are different levels on which you can make your environment secure. All right, and you get one pane of picture where you can see all the recommendations for like a total view of what's going on in the environment in terms of security. Also, you get alerts in advisories in Azure Monitor as well, which has not been set up yet for the purpose of this demo, but I had Security Center. That's why I helped you with it a bit. So does that answer your question, Mohammed?
Yes, thank you,
Yes,
Hannah.
thank you.
Yes, زي ما اتكلمنا برضو فكرة السكيورتي سنتر دي من الحاجات المميزات الكبيرة جدا في مايكروسوفت ايجر، ان انت بتاخد سنجل بين اوف جلاس. انا شايف كل حاجة عندي في الانفايرمنت زي ما حضراتكم شفتوا في ريكومنديشنز بيبدأ مايكروسوفت تقول لك فور اكزامبل كان اول حاجة في الريكومنديشن enable multi factor authentication، فهو بيبدأ يديك ريكومنديشن وانتليجنس بحيث ان انت از ان ادمنستريتور تبقى فاهم ايه الحاجات اللي هي توب برايورتي وايه الحاجات اللي مايكروسوفت بتديك عليها اكشن، بيقول لك خد الاكشن ده بحيث ان انت تسكيور الانفايرمنت. ده طبعا على ليفل الانفايرمنت بتاعتك لان انت يو ار تيكينج كنترول اوف ذا انفايرمنت. لكن على مستوى كمان الداتا سنتر زي ما احنا قلنا في البدايه دي حاجه سكيور، فالسكيورتي سنتر دي تول مهمه جدا داخل ايجر انفايرمنت، وزي ما شفنا بتديك اكسس على الفي امز، بتديك اكسس على الكلاود ابلكيشنز، بتديك اكسس على كل الكلاود سيرفيسز اللي موجوده عندك. فدي نقطه مهمه جدا. انا بشكرك يا باشمهندس محمد على ان انت اتكلمت في نقطه السكيورتي، ودي برضو من الحاجات اللي هي سوفت لاين بتدي فيها برضو كونسلتيشن على مستوى securing الانفايرمنت. لو حضراتكم شفتوا برضو خلال البرزنتيشن، لو انت بتستخدم تول او حاجه مثلا فاير وول زي فورتينات او حاجه من الحاجات اللي هي بتبقى ممكن تشغلها كمان على ايجر وتعمل بيها انتجريشن على ايجر بحيث انها تستخدمها كمان تسكيور بيها الكلاود ريسورسز اللي عندك. طبعا احنا برضو بنستقبل الاسئله، لو في حد حابب يعمل انميوت ويسال سؤال. برضو الجزء الخاص بالديمو ده انتراكتيف، نحب نسمع من اسئله برضو. لو حد حابب يكتب على الشات برضو تمام. Okay, Hannah, you can move on with the demo, and as I mentioned, we will take questions during the demo as well.
All right, I will be denying this request to
Okay,
allow
sure.
access. I think that's a problem by mistake.
Yeah.
So for taking the backup here, we will need to first create a recovery service vault. So let's go ahead and create one.
Yes, Hannah, can you give us a quick idea? What are you backing up exactly? Is it
Right,
virtual
right,
machine or is it
right,
data that you are?
right now, if I back up virtual machine, it can take whole day. So I'm just, for the sake of this demo, I will just back up one file, one folder and file.
Okay.
So that's all we need for now. And I will show you how to do that. Okay. Just for the sake of
Okay.
the demo. It's all the same, but you just have to select one option. Rest of the things are same. I will show you how it's same. Okay. I will move forward with the
Okay.
demo.
Thank you.
So let's create one demo group. Let's give our vault name. Let's review and create this. For backup, you cannot take the backup directly. You need to go ahead and make sure that you have a recovery service vault available. So once this is created, we can then proceed. I will be using this system only because I have one system at the moment available, and I will just back up a test file and folder for you. So just go to the resource, and I'll show you how easy it is. Now in the recovery service vault, we can go to backup. Here, I am backing my on-premise data from my on-premise. And here, as I was telling you, what all you can back up, these are the options you can use to backup. You can back up SQL Server, Hyper-V, VMware machines, Exchange, and bare metal recovery as well. For the sake of this demo, I'm selecting files and folders, and I will be preparing my infrastructure. So I'm downloading the recovery service agent right now. This is an agent that will connect with Azure and provide the connectivity from my environment to Azure to know that the backup is going on. This is the Mars agent we're talking about. So let's give it some time.
So Hannah, what solutions can this replace in current customers' environment?
Right now, this can replace if they have any backing up solution to do. So they have to set up a whole infrastructure using the manually backing up setup. So right now, they can just use it on the click of a button.
Mhm.
So right now it's asking me for installation folder where you have to install it, and it will ask you for a cache location. Right now only have one drive. The cache location is where it will mount the temporary drive. It should be 5% of the total data that you're trying to back up. So you'll need to calculate the data first. So we don't have any proxies in our environment. So I'll go ahead with this. And there are two dependencies for this, which is .NET Framework 4.5 and PowerShell. I have both of these on my computer, so I'll just go ahead and install. So to tell you that .NET Framework is already, we get it with most of the computers. If it's not there, it's you can just download it from the net. Same as with Windows PowerShell. Most of the IT user already have PowerShell. So there's no version particular for PowerShell that has been mentioned by Microsoft, but for .NET, it's Framework 4.5. So you see at the bottom, this is my Mars agent. So now it's telling me proceed to registration, but first I will need to go to the portal and need to download my credentials for this. So since I have one system, I'm doing everything on it. So these are my credentials for registration. Now I can proceed.
So this step was to make sure that it's connected to the right Azure
Right.
account.
First we downloaded the agent. Right now we are registering it just to make sure that we're connected with the right setup. you will need to generate a passphrase and you will need to store it somewhere. Make sure you store it somewhere safe. If you have lost it, you will not be able to recover it. So it's better to not keep it on the same machine which you're backing up, but since I have already one machine, I am backing it up on the same location. So it's giving me a warning as well that you should not store it, but that's okay on the same machine, but that's okay. I will anyhow go ahead and proceed with this. So the server registration should take like 1 or 2 minutes, should not take long. Right now, let me show you. That we only have one drive here. And I only have one system connected at the moment. So it will mount another drive and it will store the data here. So you see that it has registered successfully. All right, it's again giving me that warning that passphrase is locally stored, but that's okay. Now, as soon as I close this, my Mars backup agent popped up. Now I will have, right now you see there's no backup button because first there's a problem with this that we will need to schedule backup first and then we can go ahead and backup. So let's start with this. Let's add the item I want to backup. Right now I just want to add a simple file. So I have just created a test file. So I just want to backup this.
So scheduling the backup, can you give us an idea like the time intervals that we can set?
Yeah, you can see it on the next screen. You can set it like daily, weekly, you can set it 3 times a day. All right, and you can select different retention policies as well, how long you want to retain it for, right? You get it directly on the screen. You can retain it for a number of days and for what time intervals you want to select, you can select from here. So I just want to go with the default right now. So I'll go ahead and finish this. So since it was just a file, it just took some very less time. So let me just back up now. Now it's saying how long you want to retain it for. So let's suppose I say let's till 30th September, how long you want to retain the data. So now it will start the actual backup.
So Hannah, this is some sort of set it and forget it, right? You do the setup, you do the time intervals, and then you just, it works like that. Okay.
Right, it works like that. I'm just doing it right now for the purpose of this demo. That's why I've clicked. If I schedule it, there is no problem with it. It will go ahead and complete it. But and there's one more thing for the first backup, it takes longer because it's taking the first snapshot of everything. So whenever you take the backup for the first time of your entire data, it will take a lot of time. See, it's on the screen also showing it. It might take longer since it's the first backup. So your first backup will always take a lot of time. But right now, since it's just one file, it should go ahead pretty quickly, but still it will take some time here.
Okay. So on the cost side, how this is charged? Is it charged by the storage size or what is
These costs in Azure are basically the ingress and egress costs. So you pay for the incoming and outgoing data basically. So that is how most of the services are charged. But for this particular one, I will have to check exactly what will be the cost based on what. So I don't deal with those aspects of it because I just work on the technical part, right?
Okay.
So let me recover data. So it's giving my computer name. Yes, I want to use this. And yes, I want to back up individual files and folders. So let me select a volume. I just have one. So let me select this and I will mount a drive on it. So the backup was done. Right now, what I'm trying to do is from that drive, I'm trying to recover data back. So if I show, okay, it's not letting me. Give me 1 second. So if I go here, this is the file that I'm trying to back up. Just written test one and nothing else. So you see, there's one more mounted drive created, and it is backing it up.
Okay. So Hannah, we have a question from the chat from Zakaria. So he is asking, we take backup only for file and applications, or can we take a backup for a full OS?
No, you can take for full OS as well, but only the supported ones, as I showed you on the screen. There you can take for Hyper-V VMware machines, but you can take the full backup as well with this.
Yes, in addition to virtual
Yeah,
machines.
yeah, Hyper-V and VMware virtual machines. I'm showing you this because I just wanted this to be short. You can, as I told you already, backup full servers and backup files and folders if you like. So this has been completed. You can just browse and you see the file is here at this
This is
location.
the recovery part. Like this is how you
this
recover the files.
Yeah, this is not my C drive. This is going in D, the other drive that was created by this agent.
Thank you, Zakaria, for your question, and I hope this answered the question. So I think this was a very seamless and streamlined process. It's very simple to do.
It's very
So
easy to do it with like Azure. That's why we wanted you to see a demo and see for yourself. You can basically just unmount it once you're done, and we're done.
Perfect. طيب زي ما شفنا دي ديمو سريعة كده عن الباك اب في ايجور. دي من احد افضل السولوشنز اللي ممكن نستخدمها في ايجور ونقدر نبدأ بيها على طول. فكرة الباك اب، ودي حاجة مهمة جدا لان كلنا عندنا داتا. يعني اكيد احنا بنستخدم حاليا سولوشن للباك اب، بس ممكن يكون السولوشن ده هاردوير، فبنحتاج مثلا اكسباند الستورج كل شوية. ممكن نحتاج ان احنا يعني ممكن يكون في مشاكل كتير بتواجهنا في اللوكال باك اب سولوشن. فايجور باك اب من اسرع السولوشنز اللي احنا ممكن نبدا نتعرف بيها على ايجور، نبدا نشتغل فيه، نبدا نشوف الحاجات التانية المفيده اللي احنا نقدر ناخدها من ايجور. فدي كانت الديمو. وبرضو احنا زي ما قلت في المكالمه، احنا يعني مهم جدا بالنسبه لنا الكلاود دي. احنا التوبيك بتاع الويبينار اسمه كلاود جيرني. هي الكلاود فعلا جيرني. انت لازم تكون شايف الطريق شكله عامل ازاي، تبدا باول خطوات كده، تاخد ستيبس في الاول، تشوف ايه الاوبشنز اللي انا اقدر ابدا اشتغل بيها. لان احنا مش بنشفت للكلاود اوفر نايت. احنا مش بنيجي النهارده ونقول انا بكره خلاص انا رايح كلاود. لا، الكلاود بنحتاج وقت شويه ان احنا ندرس الاوبشنز اللي عندنا، ندرس ايه افضل حاجات او افضل ريسورسز ابدا بيها في الكلاود. وبعد كده في الجيرني دي بقى ممكن نبدا نشفت ان احنا بنبدا في الاول بسيرفيسز زي الباك اب، بعد كده ممكن ابدا بفيرتشوال ماشين، بعد كده ممكن ابدا ان انا اعمل هايبريد انفايرمنت لحد ما اوصل لليفل ان انا اكون كلاود اونلي. الداتا سنتر بتاعي كله دلوقتي بقى في الكلاود. الجيرني دي احنا بنشتغل فيها مع الكاستمر على حته الاديوكيشن، ان انت ازاي برضو تكون عارف ايجر بيقدم ايه، حته الكونسلتيشن، حته ان احنا بنماب الانفايرمنت بتاعتك للكلاود، ايه افضل الحاجات اللي ممكن تبدا بيها. واز وي جو الريليشن شيب دي بتكون دايما الهدف منها ان احنا بنتاكد ان الكلاود هتقدم لك افضل سولوشن للبيزنس بتاعك. طبعا احنا ايجور ده توبيك كبير، يعني احنا اتكلمنا كده بس هايلايتس او اتكلمنا عن البيزكس او الكونسبتس الاساسيه في ايجور. لكن احنا ان شاء الله احنا عاملين كلاود ويبينار سيريز، يعني هيبقى في فيوتشر ويبينارز كمان عن ايجور. في نفس الوقت احنا بنقدم فري اسسمنت وفري كونسلتيشن. يعني انا حابب ان احنا ناخد يعني ممكن نتواصل مع الاكونت مانجرز ونبدا نسكادول كده الوان تو وان كولز، بحيث ان احنا نقدر نقدم كاستمايزد كونسلتيشن لكل انفايرمنت، بحيث ان احنا نوصل لاحسن سولوشن واحسن اللي هي الستيب الاولانيه ان احنا نبدا في الكلاود جيرني. طبعا بما انها كلاود جيرني فدي حاجه يعني بنحط لها زي تايم لاين او بنحط لها بلان او استراتيجي. فجزء الاستراتيجي دي حاجه من الحاجات برضو اللي احنا بنتكلم فيها. في بوينتس بتطلع زي مثلا السكيورتي، طب النتورك، طب انا مثلا اللايسنسنج. كان في حته مهمه جدا اللي هي ايجر هايبريد بنفيت. يعني انا بريكومند ان اي حد حاليا هيشتري لايسنس ويندوز سيرفر او مايكروسوفت سيكوال او التو لايسنسز دول، مهم جدا ان هو ياخد فري كونسلتيشن عشان نقول لك ايه احسن اوبشن، بحيث ان انت لو هتشتغل كلاود بعد كده يكون عندك الهايبرد بنفيت. سريعا كده، الهايبرد بنفيت دي معناها ان انا دلوقتي اشتريت لايسنس هستخدمها لوكالي عندي في الانفايرمنت. طب انا جيت في وقت مثلا قررت ان انا اشتغل ايجور، لو انت واخد اللايسنس المناسبه هتقدر تستخدمها في الكلاود. بمعنى ايه؟ بمعنى ان انا خدت هايبرد بنفيت، ان انا نفس اللايسنس دي مش هدفع بقى على ايجر، لان ايجر لو انا ما عنديش لايسنس، ايجر هيبقى فيه تشارج لللايسنس اللي هتستخدمها على الفيرتشوال ماشين. طب انا معايا اللايسنس بتاعتي، كان اي برينج ماي اون لايسنس؟ تقدر تجيب اللايسنس بتاعك، فهتوفر الكوست اللي انت هتدفعها في الكلاود. بدل ما تدفع مرتين، لايسنس في الكلاود ولايسنس في اللوكال انفايرمنت، لا، مهم ان انا افكر في الستيب دي اهيد اوف تايم. ودي من الحاجات برضو اللي احنا بنساعد فيها الكاستمرز، ان انت ازاي تبدا تستخدم الحاجات اللي بتوفر في الكوست. يعني في كوست مانجمنت نقدر نعمله مع الكاستمر، بحيث ان احنا نميك شور ان انت بتاخد احسن حاجه من الكلاود، the best of the cloud، مع الافضل كوست تقدر تاخدها. فالكوست مانجمنت والاناليسيس فيها شويه تريكس كده. الكاستمر بنعرفه الاول ان انت تقدر تعمل ايه بحيث ان انا اسيف كوست. فدي نقطة برضو من الحاجات المهمة. وزي ما قلت لكم، الدسكشن بتاعت الكلاود دايما دسكشن مستمرة. في شركات حابة انها تروح الكلاود، عندها شوية كونسيرنز زي مثلا السكيورتي، في ردود للسكيورتي وفي حلول لكل الكونسيرنز دي. واحنا بنقدر نقدم الردود على الأسئلة دي او الكونسيرنز دي بشكل كبير جدا، من خلال التكنيكال اكسبرتيز، من خلال التكنيكال انجينيرز، من خلال الريليشن شيب قوية مع مايكروسوفت لمدة 25 سنة، من خلال الهايست ليفل اوف اكسبرت ام اس بي اللي هي مانجد سيرفيس بروفايدر. احنا كمان بنقدم مانجد سيرفيسز للانفايرمنت دي. يعني بنقدر نساعد الكاستمر ان هو يموف للكلاود، وفي نفس الوقت لو حابب ان الكلاود احنا نعمل مانجنج للكلاود بتاعه الكاستمر، دي حاجه برضو احنا بنقدمها از سيرفيس. فده بيكستند التكنيكال ريتش بتاعتنا. الديبلويمنتس، الثاوزندز اوف ديبلويمنتس والثاوزندز اوف مايجريشنز اللي عملناها، دي برضو حاجه بتدينا ايدج ان احنا عرفنا البيست براكتسز لكل كاستمرز في كل حاجه لها علاقه بالابلكيشن. مثلا مودرنايزيشن، انا عندي ويب سايت دلوقتي عايز اعمل له هوستنج على ايجور، طب ايه افضل سيناريو؟ طب انا عندي فيرتشوال ماشين مهمه عايز احطها على الكلاود وتبقى شغاله 24/7، ايه افضل اوبشن؟ كل الحاجات دي بتبقى ديسكشن احنا بناخدها مع الكاستمر، بحيث ان احنا نوصل لافضل نتيجه. مرة تانية أنا بشكركم جميعا على الحضور معانا النهاردة. احنا معانا لسه وقت، لو حد حابب يسأل أي أسئلة. معانا باشمهندسة هنا برضو تقدر تجاوب أي أسئلة لها علاقة بإيجر، أو الحاجات around إيجر، أو السيرفيسز اللي انتم ممكن تاخدوها من إيجر. So هنا just one more thing. So as the topic of the webinar is cloud journey with Azure, what do you recommend? Like, what should customer do in order to start their first step with Azure?
With the first step, we don't initially tell you to go ahead and move everything to Azure. Definitely, we ask you to get an assessment for your environment, that what all can be moved on, what all can be done, and take an initial health check of your environment where you can optimize the cost. So just go with the basics, see if it's even feasible for your environment, right? So if it's a small environment and you want to check, maybe Azure might cost me more. So it doesn't. Definitely, we have many ways of cost saving, but keeping everyone's concern in check, you can just go for and run an assessment of your programs with us, and we will tell you how we can optimize cost and bring your costs down, and how we can, like, we'll give you a roadmap of how we will check and optimize your infrastructure to bring it to cloud. And there are sometimes complex applications which you cannot just directly move. Sometimes there are some hiccups, very rare, because there's a workaround for everything. But if that's the case, and sometimes there's a security concerns where the owners want just the recovery vault, let's suppose, in on premise and rest of the environment in cloud, that can be done as well. So let's go ahead with that, I would say.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, this is great. And also one more thing, like the cloud is one of the hottest topics in the IT market right now. It's very important for us as IT people, IT managers, and administrators to be familiar with Azure, be familiar with what the cloud can offer our company. Because when we go back to management and when we go back to our company and talk about the options and the capabilities and the cost savings that we can have, this in return will be valuable for the company. This will show the impact and the role of the IT in modernizing the environment. So it's very
Right.
important skill for
Because
everyone right now to know.
because if I talk about on premise, you will be saving the cost of labor, electricity. You will be saving the cost of maintaining several licenses you can bring in online. Several licenses cost is cut. You can use auto shutdown features. There's a lot of features that you can explore depending upon your infrastructure.
Mhm. And definitely hybrid is one of
Mhm,
the greatest things to consider
mhm.
when starting the journey,
Exactly.
because yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't disagree more, because you can leverage, as I said, sometimes there is a requirement that for security reasons, we want something on-prem, we don't want to move it, we don't want to move the AD. You can definitely leverage hybrid there, where you can get best of both worlds. You can use the cloud environment and you can keep your on-prem intact as well. So that's there.
Mhm, mhm. That's perfect. So yeah, that was very interesting discussion, and also thank you so much, Hannah, for the presentation and the webinar and the information that you shared with us. أنا حابب أشكر جميع الناس اللي حضرت معانا النهاردة. شكرا جدا على وقتكم، شكرا جدا لوجودكم معانا حتى نهاية الويبينار. شكرا للأسئلة والدiscussion اللي حصلت. زي ما قلنا الدسكشن مستمرة. reach out to us anytime. حابين نتكلم معاكم أكتر عن ازاي تبدأ الجيرني بتاعتك في الكلاود. ان شاء الله احنا عندنا ويبينار سيريز مكملة معانا في سبتمبر، هنشير معاكم انفورميشن أكتر عن الويبينارز. الويبينارز مين اللي بتتكلم عن مايكروسوفت كلاود، ايجور ومايكروسوفت 365 اللي هو الجزء الخاص ب Office 365 collaboration and productivity. فلو حابين تكملوا الدسكشن طبعا reach out to your account manager او reach out to me personally. هنبعت follow up email في الكونتاكت ديتيلز، وان شاء الله نتمنى دايما ليكم التوفيق. ولو حد عنده اي اسئله عن Azure احنا حابين نساعدكم. كمان مره بشكركم على وقتكم، وان شاء الله نلتقي بيكم في ويبينارز جايه. واتمنى لكم يوم سعيد، وان شاء الله enjoy the weekend as well. شكرا لحضراتكم.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abdullah, for helping me
Thank
with
you.
this. All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Hannah.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.